Well, a year later, we're back again. Bobby, Alex, it's so great to be back with you guys here in Greece. Thank you for inviting me back to spend a week with you here.
It's good to have you back, Luke.
Great to be here. Why don't we start off by you guys introducing yourselves and just giving us a bit of background as to how you got here today.
Okay. Welcome back, Luke. A year has gone by and it's so nice to see you. It's like welcoming back a super successful son after a year. So we love you and we just love having you around. I'm Alex Girofalis and I grew up in Serbia, moved to the United States as a student, and my husband and I built our businesses in healthcare over the past 17 years. That's the field that we're comfortable with. That's the field that we know how to work. But we were very busy with operations, and that's how our friendship started, because we just wanted to explore something else and diversify our portfolio. So there comes Luke in our life.
And Bobby Garafalis, I guess pediatric dentist by trade. I guess more into dental entrepreneur. Like my wife said, we run a pediatric dental healthcare group. It's multi-location, multi-specialty now, in the process of scaling it. Dabbling in other ventures, real estate, and of course, why we're here is to talk about crypto and our experience with it and our experience with you and the bull market blueprint and going from there.
Awesome. So I've asked you guys to basically have this conversation with me to go over crypto, bull market blueprint, but let's just step back a little bit. I mean, before we met, you guys had already been invested in crypto for a little while. I mean, how did you discover crypto? What got you interested?
Alex here was the forefront. You had some secret crypto I didn't even know about.
Yes. When I turned 40 about 7 years ago, I started hearing about Bitcoin and I got loads of gift cards. And back in the day, you could buy crypto with gift cards. You couldn't buy it with any kind of regular transaction. But so I collected these, I think, Barnes & Noble and maybe Starbucks gift cards. And I bought maybe like a quarter of Bitcoin with gift cards. So that's how it started. And then, of course, everything got forgotten. And I think I still have that. What's the trading with like the purple icon? Paxful? Paxful? Yeah, it's still on Paxful. So after that, COVID came. I had a lot more time, and I started buying then on a dip. And I think it was $7,000. Bitcoin was
March of 20.
Maybe like
And for me, I guess to backtrack this, since I didn't even know Bitcoin was when she was accumulating a little bit of it, I had started hearing about Bitcoin in 2016 and I started just watching it. I didn't really know much about it. I didn't even know how to get it, but I just saw this like little run up. I think it peaked December of 2017 around 17,000. And then I remember it just came right back down like a month later. And I just kind of was looking at it. I'm like, all right, kind of forgot about it. And then what Alex was saying about when COVID hit in March of 2020, I started noticing it went from 3 to 7. And I'm like, all right, it might do the same thing. So we started accumulating some Bitcoin that whole year through 2020 into 2021.
We were buying only Bitcoin and Ethereum. For me, it was a long-term investment. I was not looking to make money quick in any kind of scheme. I really didn't have not only time, but I didn't have strategy, but I didn't have time or desire to look into any of these coins that were just popping up. So it was only Bitcoin and Ethereum. It was always a long-term game.
Well, and at that point, though, I remember into 21, towards the fall of 21, this is where we started getting emotional with Bitcoin. I remember the price was going 40, 50, 60. I remember I was like, Alex, it's 64,000. We got to buy another Bitcoin.
I remember I was buying it at 70 and 75.
Yeah, we did.
And I remember my father calling me in September of 2021 and saying, go sell everything. Do whatever you want with that Bitcoin. Just go buy a piece of property. Just sell everything. It's about to crash. And there it comes.
Well, the good thing is after it crashed, I had a little health episode and then just kind of forgot about it. I knew it had fallen down. I wasn't like emotional about it. I just, was like, all right, we didn't lose anything because we didn't sell anything. And then honestly, from 22 after my surgery through all of 22, I just kind of forgot about it and just put it in the back of my head and really didn't think about it until we met you.
There was also, COVID was done, everything was open again. We were just busy with operations in our business and it was just there to sit. It was never there to make any immediate money. And then Luke came into the picture. Bobby met Luke at one of the masterminds gatherings, immediately clicked with him and came home and said, oh, it's like I met Kolya, who's our son, and just older Kolya. He's so smart. And that's how we met Luke. And last year we started
Yep.
working with him. And
Fast forward to about May of 23
Yes.
is when we officially started.
Yeah, so let's skip to that point then. After we met, what made you decide to want to join Bull Market Blueprint, and then also become one-on-one clients of mine around the same time?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. We've talked about it. I was a little hesitant, not hesitant in what your knowledge was and what you were coming up with in the group that you were forming. But for me, it was, I didn't even remember the passcodes to get in. It was just this hesitation. I'm like, oh, I did it. I got burned. I don't even know what it's doing. But yeah, just having a few private conversations one-on-one, it just really started to click my interest again. And I'm like, all right, if I have a guide this time and not just be emotional, where me and Alex was just sitting here buying it haphazardly, and we had, to actually have a strategy with it. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And yeah, we started in May of 23, and I think I officially became a private client that August. And yeah, the rest is history, and it's been a great experience.
Awesome.
I would say that it was a relationship that we built with you over like very fast. It was that trust that we immediately felt with you. There's plenty of people who sell one product or another or guide you, but this was a strategy. This was just the way you spoke, the level of knowledge that you brought to a conversation, the level of interest that you were showing in individual portfolio that we had. It was just unprecedented, and we just immediately, right, over several conversations, we just trusted you. And
that kind of then
you provided a strategy, a vision.
And I kind of took the reins, I guess, because at this point, you would kind of step back from the whole crypto market.
I was doing a lot of real estate.
Yeah, and I kind of took the forefront with your guidance, and opened the world to the other coins that you were strategic about. Like Sol, for example, has been a very huge hit for us. And yeah, just since then, just being very methodical and honestly just taking the emotion out of, wanting to buy or sell on these swings, because crypto is a ride. And with your guidance and expertise, we're buckled up and enjoying it.
So before you knew anything about what this would be like working together, what were your initial expectations like for being a part of Bull Market Blueprint and then being a client?
My initial expectations, honestly, were very modest. I think, I told you, I think last year around this time, I had a certain, figure in my portfolio. It wasn't huge. It was, somewhat modest in the, I think, lower six figures. And I was almost like, I'm very goal oriented. I'm like, all right, well, let's see, can we get this into a seven figure sum portfolio? And I guess that was my expectation. Whether it was going to pan out or not, I didn't know. And yeah, sure enough.
I definitely didn't expect to 5x it in a year.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
yeah, and that's what we did. So it's a strategy. It's as Bobby said, it's emotion out. It's not a stressful part of our lives anymore. We don't think about that on a day-to-day level. We don't check it on day-to-day level. We're not obsessed and hypnotized with it.
And honestly, just, upgrading to the one-on-one level client. I mean, I've said it before in some of these other interviews, just kind of having that one-on-one connection, shooting you a text, getting on a call with you, especially if, we're both very busy. We both have many meetings during the week. We don't get on all the calls, but, just touching base. Hey, what did I miss? What do I need to do? Here are my allocations, and just kind of having that sort of communication and personal touch has been honestly very meaningful and has brought a lot of value.
We always know that there is someone who is there to see it, who is there to follow trends, who's more invested and more educated than us on the matter, and we trust you. And I think for us, that one-on-one relationship was the most fruitful one.
That's awesome to hear. So let's dive into those first few weeks of working together. What kind of support and guidance did you receive from me, and how did you feel about things as we got started?
Well, first and foremost, you got me back into all my exchanges, which, took a little bit of time. And yeah, that was my first initial, all right, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He got me back in the saddle. And again, just those check-ins, whether it was once a week, twice a week, analyzing the allocations, telling, me what you would recommend. It really got it going. It got the ball moving. And for me, even if I don't get on all the calls, it's piqued my interest. I check on the Slack all the time. I read the messages, I read the DMs from other people, and if anything, I'm educating myself even more on crypto and where it's heading.
And I liked that it actually it took that anxiety out of out of our relationship with crypto, and we were able to educate ourselves more and learn about more coins, and yeah, participate actively in that, and not just have someone do it for us.
Of course. Some people are concerned about this becoming another job for them, joining a mastermind or becoming a client. This is going to somehow, take a lot of their time or work. Was there any learning curve for you guys when we started working together? Things that were like, oh, I don't know
I'll
if I
answer
get
that
this.
question because it kind of goes with what I just previously said. You were there to do it for us. You were very open to do it. If we didn't have time, if Bobby was busy, but again, it almost released our time, and it just made this clear path that if you want to get involved and interested and read about it, it's there. So it was just a joint effort, symbiotic. It's just great.
And honestly, even if we weren't we were not a one-on-one client, the amount of information that you have in the Slack, your videos all the recordings are there, and you have access to them, charts, even just the network that you've built in BNB provides so much value that it doesn't take much time to even just get on Slack, get on the video, watch it at 1.25, 1.5 if you don't have time. And then from there, you just build your knowledge, and you just start finding yourself just being more interested and more vested in it and seeing where it goes.
So what are the particular resources and, strategies inside of BNB that you guys have found particularly valuable?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's basically not jumping on every single coin of the week, so to speak, that, you want to throw all your money in and hoping it goes to 100x and, striking it rich. Yeah, we would all like that. And, yeah, we might have in my allocation maybe 5% of what we call a casino. But overall, I think, we're doing allocations in coins that are relevant, that have a future, that these projects, are going to have traction. And I guess for me, that's been the most valuable thing, is that, we're not just spraying and praying. We're very strategic, and, and again, whether it's DCAing, and at some point when we start DCEing, it's all going to be part of the plan. And then we're going to get back in and DCA that, I have even greater expectations as to where this can go for us.
Incredible. How has our algorithm-based system, Alpha AI, helped you guys navigate this market during volatility?
Well, it's pretty exciting when it says moderate buy signal, or whether it's
We're
a
all
weak buy
waiting
signal.
for it.
Yeah. So no, for me, I think it's just what you've come up with, the algorithm. It's really exciting. And just even from this past week of this
We got
volatility.
excited.
Yeah.
Volatility got us excited. We were just waiting for a signal.
Exactly. No. So for me, at least, I see the signal, and I'll shoot you a text or DM and say, hey, what do you think? And then you give me some more guidance on it and go from there. So again, it just takes those swings out, and it puts it in a more
Takes emotional swings out.
Exactly.
And if you want to have a little, it just depends on what your risk profile is. If you want to have a little bit of emotion, you can have your casino and your 5-10% to play with, and to be to talk to people who are into it. So I think it just provides a good strategy for both people who want to be invested, who have more time, and who can go on Slack and watch videos, or who can be one-on-one clients and have a little bit less of time like us, and just be guided by you a little bit more.
And I'll pivot from there too. I mean, there were times over the past year, and I'm like, I should put this 6-figure amount in this coin and just see what happens. And then either my inner Luke in my head would say, no, he would not like that, or I would actually shoot you a message, and I knew you would say, no, that's not smart, and now you would talk me off the ledge. So yeah, I mean, you get that temptation when where you're a little bit of a gambler, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely taken that irresponsibility of like just putting everything on 1 or 2 coins that you're going to hope will hit the moon, as opposed to just slow and steady with the whole process.
Yeah, absolutely. So building off of that, how would you say being part of BNB and being clients is, increase your confidence in what you're doing with crypto?
I think just overall what we talked about, I mean, it's made it more relevant for us in terms of how we're looking at it, how we're approaching it. It's given me more confidence, taking the emotions out of it, and looking at it as a whole, that this is an asset and portfolio of the future for us. And what comes out of it, I don't know, but I'm very excited to continue the process. And we're still both somewhat relatively young, but
Yeah, I'm impressed with the level of education that past few years brought in the whole world of crypto, and that's where Bull Market Blueprint fits. Just very sophisticated platform. We are holding crypto. For us, crypto was more an instinct. For me, it was that. Future security. It signified freedom, but seeing it in an organized, strategic way, we're very comfortable with it. We feel very secure, and we we believe that that's the currency of the future.
I love that. Okay, so let's get into what everyone wants to know. We don't have to get into dollar figures or anything like that, but what is the kind of portfolio growth that you've seen since we started working together, or since our last interview in August of 2023?
well, I think prior to this little hiccup and up and down, we're over 500%, if I'm not mistaken, dipped. But then honestly, I looked again and it's just kind of leveled itself out. I think we're up like 400, 420, 430%. So yeah, I mean, and honestly, like our other portfolio, our stocks and other um, exchanges, those went down a lot more than what
Oh,
crypto did.
absolutely.
I feel like your allocation kind of buffered, at least for us, this up and down that we've had in the last week or two, and it's kind of stabilized. And I was very happy to see that my allocations with your guidance did that.
Absolutely.
No panic here.
Yeah, no panic.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are great at handling it. You have, very strong mindset, and, you also don't have your entire focus on crypto, your entire investment portfolio in crypto. You're well diversified as, investors. So that's good to see. We're not at all-time highs in the market. We were previously at a high point back in the spring. I think your portfolio may have been up, closer to 7x at that point. But even down from the highs, we're still sitting somewhere between 4 and 5x, depending on where you pin it on the day to day. It's been a volatile summer in crypto.
Yeah, I want to say it peaked, I think, around, like you said, March of this year. It peaked to the highest we had seen it. We were close to basically multi seven figure portfolio. It's eased back, and it's just been holding steady. And just with strategic allocations and DCAing, we're just being, I don't want to say cautious, but I think strategic is the word.
What would be some
Optimistic.
specific
Optimistic, yeah.
optimistic? I love it.
She's always optimistic.
What would be some specific wins or achievements within that portfolio that you thought were, pivotal to getting us to this point?
What favorites?
Yeah, your favorite coins. That's very...
Oh, I mean, I don't know. For me, I think it's just what you helped pick for us, and what you've shown in BMB, and applying it to my portfolio. Again, like I didn't know some of these projects, and you've researched them and were very strategic with
Explained
us and
them.
explained them. And I've been very pleased to see how it's been and how you've told us to allocate, whether it's a certain percentage in this coin or this coin. It's just been and honestly, just
Which
to go
coins are here to stay? Which coins are just play
right,
coins?
and even just to pivot. Also, you cleaned up our stocks and our other portfolios, and that was a whole
That
strategic.
was a big strategic move to offload some of our stock that was not showing growth potential and put that in crypto at the right time. So
Yeah, that was very key.
Mhm.
And how we
Yeah.
got into grayscale and how we got DCE'd out of grayscale as well. So yeah, those are huge wins.
Yeah, my goal when we started working together was just to present you guys with as many opportunities and as much information as possible. So things like Coinbase, which I felt were undervalued, MicroStrategy, even those grayscale trusts before they converted into ETF products. I mean, they were trading below, you know, the actual
I think it
amount
was
of
like 50% at one point. Yeah,
at one point,
yeah.
yes, was trading below, the valuation of the assets they were actually holding in those trusts. So it made sense that there was some sort of arbitrage opportunity for us to buy in and close the gap. I mean, I entered that position. I showed it to you guys. You guys jumped on it pretty quickly. So, we've had a number of wins, not only with crypto specifically, but with crypto related, businesses in the real world in the equity market. What specific aspects of my coaching style would you guys say have contributed most to your success with actually being clients of mine?
I just see how much work you put into everything. I see you on a daily here with us. I saw you last year, and just tremendous amount of work and knowledge. And I think your brain works in a very specific way to synthesize that and to present it in the clearest and purest way to lay people, amateurs like us. So you really don't have to have much knowledge to understand what's going on and not to feel that you can never grasp it.
I think for me, it was last year when my Greek family met you, and they were just shocked and amazed at how intelligent and well spoken and knowledgeable and just, worldly mindset that you had, just, not just with crypto, geopolitics, economics, and the way you just explained it with such confidence and gnosis that, for me, I'm just like, yeah, this
To
kid's
people
got
who
it.
are double your age and double your experience. I had that when we were on the boat. People were asking me, how old is this kid?
So yeah, basically
No,
taking
but
this confusing knowledge and just breaking it down in layman's terms to make it
step by
comprehensible for
step
us.
guide,
Yeah.
very yeah.
I know you guys have been pretty adamant investors in yourselves. Like Bobby, you've joined a number of masterminds, you've invested in coaches, you've invested in mentors. In what ways would you say BNB stands out as a program versus some of the other things you purchased, or just as like, was that the solution you were looking for crypto investing?
For me, it was, I guess, the personal touch.
For me, seeing everything that Bobby has gone through and different groups that he attended, for me, it's the follow through.
Yeah, that's it.
Luke follows
It was
through.
the follow through.
You're stable and you follow through and you deliver.
And you actually, not that other people don't care, but just seeing the care you have, not even just for me as a one-on-one client, just seeing you here working while you're staying with us with all your clients. And just, you were saying I'm sending out DMs and messages to all my clients. I mean, that just shows follow through and that you actually care about who joins your group, and, you stand behind it 100%.
You're very proud of your work, and that shows, and that's that integrity that just
Oh, integrity.
transpires.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Integrity, honey. Good job
Yeah.
there.
Awesome. Any personal or professional goals that this working relationship has helped you guys move towards?
I mean,
I don't
besides
know. I'm always just humbled when I see people like you work, so it makes me want to work more. It's inspiring.
I was going to say, I mean, aside from, getting a material object here or there as a quote unquote reward of, how we've grown the portfolio. Again, I think for me, it's just, I don't know. It's like Alex said, it's just very inspiring, and, not just what you do with your BNB, with your crypto coaching, but just the way you're handling the branding side. For me, it's very inspiring and something I would like to pivot to as well going forward.
And I like the engagement part. It just engages you on another level in the industry that you never considered exploring yourself to such detail. So it's just exciting to learn.
I love that. What are your plans with crypto going forward from here?
Hodl forever. That was
What is it?
always
HODL.
yes.
Hold on for dear life, I
Yeah,
think.
hodl,
With your core
hodl, hodl.
portfolio, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll just see. I've thrown this out at you now, and I'd like to maybe within the next, I don't know, 5 years, if we can get it to 8 figures. I think it can, just being strategic about it with the DCAing and DCEing. I think I don't see why we couldn't get to that point.
Yeah, I have full confidence in that as well. Okay, so what advice would you guys give someone that's considering investing in crypto? Maybe first and foremost, they've never been in it. And second to that, also investing in themselves and joining BNB to have me help them walk them through the process.
As young as they can be, they should start investing in crypto. You will get my son to one of your masterminds probably within this year, if his schedule permits. We'll send him to Dubai to you to get engaged, to learn. So it's just, it's here to stay. You have to have it in your portfolio. Do not hesitate. Do not wait. Doesn't matter how young or old you are. It has to be a part of your portfolio.
Don't be emotional about it. Don't put all of your life savings in it, because whatever you should definitely dial in your business, dial in yourself. And from there, eke out a percentage that you're going to put into crypto. Don't spray and pray, but use it as another modality to basically diversify your basically your total portfolio.
Educate yourself and ask for help, because there's a lot of information out there, and there's not very much of good, solidified, concrete, strategic information in a program like this one.
Mm-hmm. What I always like to say to people is, anyone who tells me, "Oh, I'd rather just leave the money invested than, use any of it to invest in actual help or resources like what I offer through BNB." I always say, I mean, at the end of the day, you need some sort of insurance policy on what you're doing, right? You can't just free hand crypto like many other things that don't have as big of repercussions if you don't do them properly. Would you guys agree saying that you kind of need to spend a little bit of money or a little bit of your
Absolutely.
portfolio value in learning how to do it properly versus just
Absolutely.
rolling the dice all by
Absolutely. That's what I
yourself?
said. You have to educate yourself. You have to pay for education. You have, as I said, ask for help. You have to pay for help um, in order to know what you're doing and how to invest. Very few of us have that time and that level of commitment to do that and that capacity to understand it, honestly.
So just a couple questions left for you guys. How would you sort of just sum up the experience in general of working together over the past, it's almost been a year and a half, but realistically a year of sort of focused work together?
No, it's been great. Like we've reiterated during this interview, it's been helpful, strategic, non-emotional. Had I not had you along the side, I probably wouldn't have even gone back into crypto during this last run up, what we had in 23 into 24, when it's whatever's coming up ahead. But also, didn't sell at highs, didn't buy at lows, or sell at lows, buy at highs. But yeah, just it's been a great experience overall.
Awesome. Any closing thoughts or words you would leave with anyone who's sort of on the fence about being part of BNB?
Look it up, educate yourself on what the program is and what the program offers, and at whatever level you can do it, just do it. Even group level or one-on-one client, attend the mastermind. I think that's a good way to
Be
learn who
exposed.
Look is, to learn about the program, to meet some people and hear about their experiences one-on-one. So that too. And as I said, our son is 17 and he will be attending the first mastermind. Uh,
The next
the
one,
next
yeah.
one, yes.
I guess for me, I would tell people, ask yourself what you want to do with crypto. Ask yourself what your goals are with it, what you want to eventually do with it. And once you kind of have an idea of where you want to go with it, tell these ideas to you, and then you're going to help them achieve those goals.
That's awesome. I really, really like to hear that. So from my perspective, I think one of the reasons why you guys have been so successful with this is not only did you invest in what I do at the highest level, which, for most people isn't cheap. Let's be honest. Like it's not like I'm giving my time away for free. But beyond that, you stayed active with me in communication. You sort of frequently checked in with me as I checked in with you. But also further than that, Bobby, you came to Dubai when we had a mastermind specifically for crypto and talking about our strategies, exit strategies, where we're at in the market. And like you flew 15 hours to come to that.
I did.
Spend 3 days, on the opposite time zone and be even more engaged. And I think that's one of the reasons why you guys have been, not only did you enter the market at a very good time for sure, but you also have been adamant about making sure that you're on top of this investment portfolio and your strategy with me. And I think that's been a huge contributing factor to your guys' success with this.
May I add that, it's one thing to also, get on the calls, check in with you as a one-on-one client. But when you actually go to an event like this where it's live and hearing you in person, you literally absorb it so much. I mean, it's almost by osmosis when you're in that environment, in that room.
Surrounded by
you're
like-minded
taking in
people,
that
yeah.
frequency and vibration. And I just remembered, had my Turkish coffee in the morning of that one day and just took it all in of how you're explaining it, just further, solidified my my trust and my confidence with you and crypto.
So if there would be one word, I guess, to summarize, it's follow through. We were talking about how you follow through with a client, but it's a two-way street. It's reciprocity, and I think the big part of a successful relationship, any successful relationship, is that reciprocity and following through on the client side and being there and taking calls and
without a
being
doubt
engaged. Yeah.
Well, this was awesome, guys. Bobby, Alex, thank you again for having me here and being really fantastic clients of mine. It's always nice when I can develop.
Thanks to you, to your team. You have a wonderful team and wonderful people around you, and just tells a lot about you as a person and the business that you're building. So thank you.
Well, it's fun for us, and we can develop a much more personal relationship with the people that work with us. So that's awesome.
You're welcome.
100%.
Anytime.
Yeah, congratulations on what you've accomplished.
Thank you. I look forward to catching up with you guys somewhere in the world again in a couple months. Hopefully,
Very
maybe we'll do a
soon.
little check-in like this. But
Absolutely.
Very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thanks for
Thank
having
you, Luke.
us.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.